Hey guys, how's it going? It's Atron here, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, but I'm finally back making content, and I couldn't be more excited to jump back into it. I got really pumped for the Path of Exile 2 to 3rd Edict patch, and I couldn't wait to apply the recent changes to another off-meta build. So, today we are going to talk about a Mercenary build that fully utilizes the glory mechanic to allow us to wield the power of the gods, setting ablaze a screen with fissures, Spear of Solaris, and the Ancestral Warcry skill gem that slams everything as it walks, making it feel like you are truly harnessing the power of the gods. This build made going through the campaign breezy and a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Okay, so let's jump into it. When I was theorycrafting this build, I wanted to do something that utilized the new glory nodes on the passive tree and the skill gems that have changed to the glory mechanic. Now, I was stuck on deciding to either play Warrior or Mercenary. On paper, Warrior probably would be the obvious choice, but I made Mercenary, and in this case, I'm taking the Tactician Ascendancy because of the benefits we get to the banners and how they utilize the glory mechanic as well. Let's start with skill gems, and I'll briefly cover the node choices. Okay, here we are at the skill gem menu, and I'm going to quickly run through what those are like and how the rotation works in the field. Quickly over here, the heralds are from my chest piece. I don't really have to use those, but I do utilize Herald of Ash in this build just because I have it automatically on my unique. So let's talk about Forge Hammer, Whirling Slash, and Resonating Shield. This is kind of the 3-button combo I use for fielding in most scenarios. The hammer is a nice little stun and AoE that helps cast Ignition on a group of mobs. And when I am up close to said mobs, we do Whirling Slash and Resonating Shield. We alternate those two skills to break armor and deal damage, and that's a really nice 1-2 combo there. But these are also going to weave into the rest of this build. I'm not really going to go through the support gems right now. I'm kind of mixing those around, getting a feel of like what I need to make this as efficient as possible. In general speaking, we want to increase the AoE of all of our abilities and the duration of these skills so we can keep overlapping them. We are mainly using the in-game ultimate abilities and all the glory use abilities to keep up our health and kind of interweave in between each other and keep everything going. So first of all, there's the war banners. The war banners automatically fill back up because of the Tactician Ascendancy, and this is really nice because not only are they support, but they're defensive, they're my healing ability, and I'm always keeping these up because these also give me really nice resistances to elements, and that helps me flush through a lot of these difficult situations that I'm not exactly geared for yet. So just sticking those down, I'm at 75-69 with just between those two, and I am definitely not geared at all. I am just now getting into tier 1 mapping, but I haven't been having too much of a problem other than having to watch out for a couple of mob mechanics. But let's go back to the skill gems here and continue. So yes, the war banners is a big part of this, big part of the reason I chose Mercenary over Warrior, because I really wanted to use those in a support fashion when I do play multiplayer with friends as well. So there's a couple reasons why we are using these, and they're just really nice to walk into, and the changes that they've made to this makes it really fun to use. But we're getting a lot of glory regeneration from the Tactician and the passive on the tree, so these stay up a lot, and we kind of use them as a spike healing ability as well. But we'll get into that later when we talk about the passives. And let's move to the next abilities, Ancestral Cry and Spear of Solaris. I really wanted to utilize Spear of Solaris. I can't use it right now because I don't have any glory regeneration on these two abilities, so we're just going to show you that in the footage. Everything in this kit either stuns or catches on fire, and that feeds into generating the glory for these two abilities, and they do pretty well. I would say exceptionally well when you're fighting rares and bosses. On the field, they do regenerate, but not as fast. I don't know if that's because I'm not spreading around the fire or the stuns as much, but I think it's because I'm mainly fighting weaker enemies that just doesn't fill that glory meter as high as if you were fighting a boss or a rare unique. So these are pretty much popping off all the time as well. Ancestral Christ does a lot of stunning, and the Solaris does a lot of igniting, so that's where they kind of feed into each other. If one is up and the other is not, then I can generally top them off and get them up and going pretty regularly. I mean, and with the duration I have with endurance charges, and my Ancestral Cry can stay up close to a minute right now, and that's really nice when you're running around smashing your hammer fissures, because I'm not using totems and I'm not using any other slam abilities to make these things keep erupt. I am purely reliant on running around in Ancestral Cry for that reason, but it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And the other shouts, Infernal Cry, just kind of is how I pop the hammer when Ancestral Cry's not up. That was kind of like a necessity, but this also helps with catching everything on fire and causing explosions and doing AoE. Some notable mentions here, I do also use a shield quite a bit, Magma Barrier, and this is also my endurance generator. This is how we are keeping Ancestral Cry up for so long. So yeah, this is a lot of fun, and like I said, going through the campaign was a breeze. Very minimal gear upgrades the whole time, and yeah, I highly recommend you trying it. So we're going to move on to the passives next. Alright, in the passive, again, Mercenary. I still need to do my other half, so there's another part of this tree that needs to be filled out. I haven't really quite decided which way I'm going to go, but I'm leaning more towards into the tankiness of this little branch right here. But right now, we are fully utilizing the banners. 5 glory per second is wonderful, and the no limit is even better. And this is how we're keeping up our 75+% tile range of all the banners, of all the elements of resistance. And that's amazing. It's a really, really fun and awesome gameplay change that isn't just sinking everything into your armor. It gives you the freedom to kind of experiment with different pieces of armor unique when you can fill those resistance spots. So yes, that's one of my favorite parts about this build. I love that tremendously. And with that said, let's go through here. Initially I kind of went down and grabbed armor and evasion skills. No biggie, doesn't have to go that way. But initially we got some endurance charges. Now, a lot of this stuff I didn't pick up till later because Ancestral Cry and Spear Solaris is like your last skills that you can acquire. So you're going to be running through a decent amount of the campaign using other stuff, and then that's fine. At first I was sinking into shields for a defensive playstyle, but really the shields is kind of negligent compared to the other benefits I get from these other nodes. So, we're going to keep on going down here. Armor break and physical damage. Here's our first glory tree. Right now, this is my big spike healer. This is wonderful. Invigorating Grandeur. Recover 1% of maximum life per glory consumed. We are rotating glory button presses with our war banners, and between our spear and Ancestral Cry, we are able to keep our life topped up more often than not. And that is amazing. And then these smaller nodes are how we are keeping the generation going. The Everlasting Glory is kind of nice, but honestly everything pops up so quickly I didn't feel like I really needed it, or it needs maybe like a percentile buff to make it feel like it's actually worthwhile, because generally you're not using these a whole bunch. But it is nice when it does happen. Thing is, I'm usually never paying attention to it going off, or at least being saved to be used again. So let's continue. Favorable odds and tactical retreat. These are must-have for this build if you are going to be playing a melee style up close to the mobs gameplay, because you are getting whacked on quite a bit. You need some stun threshold, you need as much block, deflection, and then this is really nice. The dodge roll movement speed is really good for when you need to break away from that big pack that's swarming you. This is a must-have in my opinion for this kind of build. The rest of the year is just fire nodes. We want to up that fire damage because that's where we are purely doing nothing but fire to keep everything going. And here's our banner nodes, and these are really nice. Area of effect and duration, and banners also give 25% to all elemental resistance. This is the key node for this banner build for defense. I love this node. This is my favorite node. Never taking it off. And let's continue on. Down here is really nice. You get some armor, and then the armor gives you some elemental damage. Here we go. Some more endurance charges, where you're trying to get as many endurance charges so we keep Ancestral Cry up as long as possible. Thrill of the Fight. Consuming glory grants you more damage. And this one I'm actually about to take off because I don't, it's either bugged or I don't think it works as well as I thought it would. Gain 1 glory every 2 seconds for each rare or unique that's in your presence. I don't know if it's helping. I'm still kind of feeling it out, but I may or may not take that off. Because we are trying to stay in Ancestral Cry, what's nice about Ancestral Cry is that it empowers all your attacks while you're in that form. That's your basic melees, that's your skills. I'm not really using any maces for this build other than just to throw the Forge Hammer, but this is going to further improve the empowerment that Cry gives. Extra stun damage, 30% damage, area of effect. It's just really nice. I feel like it's a must-have for this build. Avatar Fire. We are trying to ignite everything, so we are making everything burn. Must-have. Over here for a little stun threshold, you are up close to everything, so you don't want to get knocked down very much. Gotta take something like that. More fire nodes. And then I'm only level 70 right now, so I'm kind of working my way up here. I'm working on these fire nodes, and I'm going to see where the next few levels take me as we're going through mapping. And that's about it. It's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend you try it out. Enjoy the footage that I have, and yeah, thank you.